International, and let's give it up for Rabbi Dovid Weiss.
With the help of the Almighty, I pray to the Almighty to bestow upon me His truth and wisdom, that I may be worthy of conveying His message and, inshallah, so sanctify His name. Assalamu alaikum. Greetings. Very sorrowful time that we have to come and gather together. But it is God's will that we should have this opportunity to speak of His will, of justice and injustice. We as Jews have to be very clear. We as Jews have a religion that means to be subservient to the Almighty. Around 100-odd years ago, a political movement started called Zionism that was a distinct transformation from subservience to God to nationalism. A totally different issue. It is only a little over 100 years that this movement existed, this Zionism, this political movement of having a piece of land, of having all the strappings of a land, yet they, in order to legitimize, in order to justify, in order to gain acceptance in the world, they masquerade and they incorporate and they use the name of Judaism, the religion. They use the Star of David and all the issues of my religion. They steal, they hijack without any shame and claim to be speaking in our name. In our name is that we are totally against the occupation. In our name we declare that they are criminals, that the state of Israel is one criminal entity, a rebellion against God, a heresy, and that not today, but since its inception, since Zionism started in Europe over 100 years ago, all the rabbinical authorities stood in opposition and ostracized these people, these Zionists, and they've hated us since that day. They've murdered our rabbis, they've killed and maimed and arrested the Jewish people. Till today it's ongoing. Our rabbis, our youth stand and demonstrate. I carry around with me books constantly of pictures of Jews being arrested because they refuse to serve in the IDF. Every boy and girl who turns 17 from our communities becomes a criminal because it's mandatory military service there. We stand and cry to the Almighty with His compassion to look down and see what is happening. The rivers of blood, the endless rivers of blood, that's over 75 years since the creation of the state and since Zionism started crawling up to the Holy Land. We plead with Him to see this endless river of blood, the inhumanity, the oppression of the Palestinian people, and of what's happening to including the Jewish people that were murdered and maimed directly through the hands of the Zionists and indirectly because of their occupation. We point our fingers squarely at the Zionist state of Israel for this tragic killing last Saturday. This all the bloodshed. They tried to obscure and confuse people and start vilifying the Palestinian people and declare the goal, how revolting, that they're going to wipe off Gaza. They've amassed 300,000 soldiers, and every minute 3,000 are dead already. We cry, we hurt, and we suffer. The Jewish people, true to the Almighty, true to our religion, in Palestine, in Al-Quds, and around the world. My brothers are demonstrating around the world. You won't see our demonstrations because the media is intimidated and accused of anti-Semitism if they show any support or sympathy for the Palestinian people. They try to vilify and accuse the Palestinian people of being anti-Semitic and as if this is a religious conflict, when clearly anybody who will put his mind and won't be lazy will see the history is that the Muslim and Arab countries embraced and gave a safe haven for the Jews for the hundreds and hundreds of years when there was no human rights groups to protect. By the Inquisition and the Crusades, and right up to the present day, Jews found a home in the Arab and Muslim countries, and we flourished. And undeniably, we put out our greatest rabbis from the Arab and Muslim countries. We babysat each other's children. I carry pictures of how we lived in peace in the same courtyards. I have people here who are generations and generations from Palestine. Whoever dares refute this fact are blatant liars. And there's enough older people. They should live to 120 from the Arab and the Jewish communities who will testify and say narratives of their own personal family history of how we lived and enjoyed each other's friendship. And now these Zionists, simply because of their selfish goal and aim, they've created a new narrative that there's a rift, that there's a war between our religions, that there's a war between the Jews and the Muslims and an ingrained hate. How galling, how disgusting. How can we stand by and listen to this when Jews, besides the commandment that we are not to kill or steal, that we are not allowed to occupy, that we are not allowed to have a Jewish state, on top of that, Jews are required to show gratitude for good done to us. We recognize and we want the world to remember all the good done to us from the Arabs and Muslims and Palestinians. We want everybody to remember this and to wake up now immediately in this terribly dangerous moment when people are being murdered, people are dying, people are maimed, thousands and thousands of people in Gaza now as a retribution from the Zionists who are non-stop reporting that these are the guys who are terrorists who hate the Jews. Instead of saying, wait a second, what brought this about? We are not condoning violence. We are saying, why is the world not thinking? Remember what brought this about. We were living. We have a history. Why are people dying and suffering? We dare not be silent. We plead with the political leaders of the world. Hear our cry. Hear the hurt. Hear what the Jewish people have respect for the distinguished rabbis that are living here in New York, right across from Manhattan, the largest Jewish community, the largest religious concentration of Jews. There's not one Israeli flag in Williamsburg, or in London and Stamford Hills, or in Mea Shearim in Jerusalem. And hear our voices. We are being beaten by the Zionists. peaceful here. There will be a free Palestine, a free Palestine. Let me just give a chant. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Zionism no more.
Zionism no more.
5, 6, 7, 8.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Israel is not a Jewish state.
Israel is not a Jewish state.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Israel no more.
Israel no more.
5, 6, 7, 8.
5, 6, 7, 8.
And the killing and the hate.
And the killing and the hate.
Judaism, yes.
Judaism, yes.
Zionism, no.
Zionism, no.
The state of Israel must go.
The state of Israel must go.
Shukran, assalamu alaikum. A free Palestine. Free Palestine.
All right. Wow, that was very